Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and over the years I've made a couple of videos on how to make a living hinge or a flex hinge. And this is to be used like with plywood and actually bend something. They're pretty cool. I've got several videos on how to do it. I've actually got some files that people can use on my Facebook page. But I've kind of started thinking about a better way to do it and using the find and replace tool. So we're going to draw a line. I'm holding down the control button to get a perpendicular line. Whoop, I got the wrong tool. And I'm going to make that line 10 inches long. I'm going to change my nudge distance to 0.125, an eighth of an inch. I'm going to control D and I'm going to duplicate it and nudge it over 0.125. I'm going to take that line and make it black. And you'll see why in just a second. So now I have a black and a red line. Now I'm going to change my nudge distance to 0.25, doubling that distance. Control D and make a duplicate. And that's good enough. Now, I like and I think it's important to have the same color lines on the outside on both ends. So we have a black on this end. I want a black on that end. So I'm going to control D, and remember the 1/4 inch is going to put it right where it needs to be. So now I've got a black line and a red line together. Now I like drawing the center of the page, and I'm pretty sure this is. For a second, I'll have to group it together and hit P. It wasn't in the center of the page. Now we're going to ungroup those for a second. And I'm going to grab this, I want to put it in the center of the page. Well, then I'm going to grab both of them and I'm going to hit T as in, no, that's not what I wanted. I need to grab all these and then grab this box and then hit T. Well, let's do this. Let me group this back together, Control G. Then move this over and then hit T. Select them both. Well, that's not what I want. I want this to move up. So I'm going to Control Shift the lines and then hit T. So the last thing you select will work. Now this thing is a 1/2 of an inch line. My lines are 10 inches long. I'm going to change my nudge distance to 9.5 inches. And I'm going to Control D, make a duplicate, and then move that guy down. Or I could have hit B. So now I'm going to shift select both these. I'm going to go up to Effects, and I'm going to go to Blend, and I just want 2 copies equally spaced in there. Now, this is where Find and Replace can help us. We've got a black line and a red line. I'm going to ungroup everything. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. I'm going to ungroup everything. Go up to Range, Group, Ungroup. You see now our lines are separate. I'm going to go up to Edit, Find and Replace, Find Object, Begin New Search, Next. Find an outline property, Next. Pick a color, and I want it to be RGB black. Sometimes I get other people's colors because I'm working on their sheet. Next, Finish, Find All. It found all of our black lines. Now, before I did that, I wish I would have. I'm going to Control G and group them because I should have changed my nudge factor to like 11 inches. Then I can grab my black and move it up. Now, this is kind of where the fun starts. Take your virtual segment delete key, hold down your Alt button, it'll make it draw a line. All right, first we need to convert all these to a curve, or break them apart at least. Holding down the Alt key, well, I do need to convert them to a curve, so they'll separate. Holding down the Alt key, and I'm deleting these lines. And what we're doing is we're making the living hinge. Now I can move these out of the way. I'm actually, well, I'm just going to move them out individually. I could group them together. And see, these are part of the blend. So I'm just going to delete them. I don't need them anymore. Now you kind of see what we're doing. Now I'm going to move this guy over, and I'm going to move these guys down. I'm going to take, really I just need one of these. I want this new box in the center of this, which will be midpoint. Control D and make a duplicate. Midpoint, Control D and make a duplicate. And it automatically made a duplicate of it. Now I can nudge these over. Whoop. See what I'm doing here? I'm making another set of lines. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to convert these to curves. I'll go ahead and do that. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Take my virtual segment delete key, holding down the Alt key, and that way, whatever the thing touches, it's going to cut. But it's all, see what I did? I actually messed up there. Had a little jiggle. So now I can get rid of these boxes. I don't need them anymore. If I was you, I'd move them out to the side and keep them. But so now we have a living hinge. And if you notice, we have the two black lines on each side. These are 1/8 of an inch apart. This is really made for plywood. And of course, you would want your measurements to whatever your thickness of the width of your board is, and your, because this is going to bend this way, not this way. So you'd really probably never make a 10-inch long one. I just did that for the math. But I would always do this before I put that into a board and test it. I would Control D and make a duplicate of it. Take a rectangle and just take out about that much of it. Take your virtual segment delete key and delete all this. Delete all this. And then you could actually take your rectangle away. Or, yeah, I take my rectangle away. Then you could test this cut and not waste a lot of wood and a lot of time. It takes a lot of, well, it doesn't take a lot of time to cut through plywood, but it takes a little bit of time and waste some wood. And then I would just test that to make sure it bends and flexes enough for you, but does not break. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.